Good morning, guys. All right, looks like we are having a nice gap up after the week close on Friday. I haven't done, I think I made one trade in 2 days, on Thursday and Friday. The only trade I made was buying APT on Friday. That's the only trade I made in 2 days. Just been sitting and waiting for things to work. How my boat trip was? It was awesome. And I don't think I'm gonna be very active today either. This pen is setting up a high tide flag. I hope it can go sideways a few more days so the 20-day can catch up. Run could be a potential short setup. Potential. Not super excited about it yet. Yeah, I'm gonna be pretty inactive today also, I think. Do I think plug is looking strong? I might even gonna answer that question. I mean, is that even a real question? Or are you just trolling me? It's hitting all-time highs. Like, do you think it's strong or not? No, but really, it's hitting all-time highs. Like, I mean, is that even a real question? Shui, it's building higher lows. It's surfing the 50-day. It could be a nice setup later this week. Arnet, I don't know. It's a very, very thin stock. I wouldn't even trade it. Yeah, Caesar is setting up. Caesar has, it looks pretty decent. Shake S, it could be a short soon, but it's not really going parabolic. It's just kind of grinding higher. Just kind of grinding. I'm not excited about it. I'm not gonna watch this one personally. PSNL, not yet. It needs to take out this range here. FVAC, what's the theme? Oh, yeah, okay, rare metals. Yeah. Yeah, maybe. I'd like to see more range here. Well, is it too late to buy? Well, you said it yourself. It broke out 2 days ago. So what do you think? You answered the question yourself. It broke out two days ago. Entry was this day here. This was the entry day. And then OX. No, not yet. No. Don't short this thing. Fastly, it broke out of this range here on this day. My entry is about 87-ish. Or 86 something. 86, 87. All right, I'm just gonna sit and wait today. I don't think, you know, I'm fully invested. I really don't feel the urge to do anything. Question is, are we gonna fake this gap up and go lower, or are we gonna hold? That's the big question. Yeah, I would consider shorting Peloton when it starts showing relative weakness. Right now, it's just been grinding higher. I'd like to see some kind of either parabolic or backside. That's what I'm looking at on Peloton. Yeah, space is kind of breaking out of a mini flag here of the lows. I think the entry was here on this day. I don't think there's an entry here today. VVPR, guys, you know the sell rules. If you watch the YouTube video, after 3 to 5 days, you sell a third to half, move your stop to break even, and then trail the rest with your 10-day. If you haven't done it, you really need to type !YouTube into the chat. Yeah, the 10-day closing. All right, the markets are open. Let's see what we get here. This PLL is an intriguing stock. It's starting to break the range on the 60-minute chart. It's not as tight as I would like it to be, though. That's the problem with it. Pakes. Yeah, it's a strong one. Peloton is starting to show some relative weakness. It's actually red on the day. That's interesting. So it's showing some first signs of weakness. But I'm gonna wait before I touch it. SPYs look very much better than Nasdaq. That's interesting. And again, it looks like most stocks in the portfolio are outperforming the market for now. Like Twitter is hitting new highs. LAC is up 13%. CrowdStrike is about to hit new highs, or well, over the last week's highs at least. So far so good. Zillow is at new all-time highs. Guys, if you bought the good-looking breakouts over the past 2 weeks, like you really want to see your stocks to outperform the market. Most of them, not all of them don't have to, but most of them have to. That's how you know you're in the momentum leaders. That's how the leaders act. You want to be in the strongest names. And you want them to show relative strength after you bought them. IWM, yeah, wow, Russell is strong. Holy shit, Russell is outperforming. Also, biotechs are very strong. XBI, IBB. I'm a little bit tempted to buy some Labu. I'm a little bit tempted. But then I would have to get rid of something else because I really don't have that much buying power left. No, I'm not 200% long. I'm maybe 130% long. I would never go 200% in one direction. I would never ever do that. I've never done it. I would never do that. That's way too much margin for me. I would never go more than maybe a little bit more than 100% in any direction. And usually when I'm on margin, I have both longs and shorts, and a lot of different positions, different sectors, etc. Yeah, am I okay? Exactly, it was a takeover. That's why biotechs are strong too, I guess. Yeah, Peloton is weak. It's showing big relative weakness. That's true. I guess there was an entry on it opening range lows when it was obvious it showed relative weakness. I passed on it. AMD October 8th event, I have no idea. I don't know. May or may not. I don't even know what they're gonna present there, so. Well, momentum trumps everything. But you know, company fundamentals, I do look, I want them to be fast growing stocks. Like most of the stocks in my portfolio have very like triple digit earnings and or revenue numbers. Okay, most of them are fast growing and all of them have a lot of momentum. So that's the fundamentals I look at. Are markets weakening? No, they're not. Never mind. This Tesla, I'm getting excited about this big bull flag it's in. I'm getting a little bit excited about it, to be honest. And when I say a little bit, I mean a lot. This thing had an enormous run from the March lows, pulled back to the 50-day, had a big run again, pulled back to the 50-day again, had a bounce again, and now it's kind of getting tighter and tighter. Man, next leg up, this thing is gonna go to like 600 if it sets up correctly. Bill. Yeah, it looks decent. It looks decent. If we can, you know, go sideways here for a little bit more, build this on this flag here. It had, you know, it's up decently on the year. It's been going sideways for about 6 months, and you know, if we can complete this flag a little bit more, so that 20-day can catch up, there could be a nice setup here, maybe later this week. This Beely is starting to look interesting. Beely. Archon. Yeah, it's kind of setting up, but it's a slow mover. I wouldn't trade it. ADR 3.1. Yeah. It's not a momentum leader either. AMD, I don't see a setup here. AMD had a setup last week, but not now. No, you use a 10-day moving average. What do you mean 4-hour 10 moving average? Guys, where do you get these things from? Why, where do you get the 4-hour chart from? Guys, really, like, I don't know where you're getting your things from. The 4-hour 10 MA? Like, please watch the YouTube video, please. I'm begging you. Please, people, watch the YouTube video. BBBY? Yeah, but were you able to identify it? That's the question. I didn't identify. Well, I didn't even look at it very closely. I guess they had a big beat. Holy shit. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna go through BBBY later. Yeah. This was an episodic pivot. I didn't pay attention when it on the day here, but I'm gonna show you why this was an episodic pivot and why it's going up this strongly. Yeah, but where do you get the 4-hour chart from? Like where do you get that from? I trade the exact same setups as Dan Sanger. I've spent hundreds of hours studying Dan Sanger's newsletters in the past. Look, like all the like Minervini, Dan Sanger, me, a lot of other traders, you know, it's the same basic patterns. We just trade the exact same patterns. The same patterns occur over and over again. We trade them. The same patterns. There's, you know, maybe with some variation, but you know, the basic principle is the same. Wow, this pack B, what a move. I have to check what the news were on this day here. This is what started the move, and this also. Early August. There were some game-changing news on this thing, I guess. Okay, so they announced the new CEO. And they had an offering, okay. So there were no specific news other than that. Interesting. There has to be something more. The Labo is breaking out. Man, this pen looks juicy. Oh my god. I hope this thing goes sideways today. Holy shit, this is setting up like it was a very powerful setup. This thing could go to 100. Next leg out higher. Getting a bit excited about it. Exactly. The charts in the William O'Neill's, yeah, William O'Neill trades very similar setups. Though he trades most like the weekly chart in his book, but it's the same setups, exact same setups, pretty much. Oh wow, home, yeah, this thing I guess is breaking out. I know someone, some of you have mentioned this last week. Congrats if you bought it opening range highs today, or if you were in it earlier. This thing has insane earnings numbers. Holy shit. Wow, WWR. Jesus Christ. This one I missed. I should have been in this thing on the long side. I think it went up when there was some battery news in one of these other stocks. Was it PLL? Didn't it break out when PLL announced news? Yeah, it was. PLL was, yeah, Tesla Green. Man, I'm so bad with the microcaps nowadays. I used to be so good at trading microcaps. A couple of years ago, I would have been all over this thing. But not anymore, since I mostly focus on large caps. Is there any stock that's not up today? Is there any stocks that are not up today? ARWR, maybe. I don't know what the news here were, but yeah, it could be a good setup. No, I don't have any frauds in my Twitter follow list. I don't follow any frauds. Yeah, a lot of people on Twitter are frauds. Just gotta find the ones that are not. But it's kind of easy to figure out which ones are fraud. Like some people are just, they're just full of shit, and you can just see the people who are just focusing on the wrong things all the time. You realize kind of fast which ones are legit and which ones are not. Usually the louder ones are the ones that make the least money or no money. That's a general rule. Not an absolute rule, but it's a general rule. The louder the trader, the less he makes. Wow, I think someone mentioned this XP last week. Holy shit. From this breakout day. They had two breakouts, like here and here. Both look pretty decent. And BNTX also going from this little breakout here. It wasn't a momentum leader, but it's in a hot sector, so. This SC, I'm already in, but it's kind of building a flag on a flag setup. I like it. If it can tighten, maybe starting tomorrow, this thing breaks out again, I may add to it. This thing's really smooth. Look at how smooth. This is what a momentum leader looks like. Look at this thing, straight up. Look at this. Every time it pulls back, it finds support on the 20-day, except here where it's found support above the 50-day. Who the fuck is calling me 25 minutes after market open? That's an auto block. Anyone calls me within the first 30 minutes of market open gets blocked. Okay, great. Let's see here. Damn, I don't remember what I was saying. I don't remember what I tried to make a point. I don't remember what I was saying. This is why you don't call me the first half an hour. Yeah, I was talking SC flag on flag, but I don't remember what I was gonna say. Well, my point was just how smoothly every time it pulls back, it finds support one of these major moving averages. Either in the beginning it surfed the 10-day, then it started surfing the 20-day. Now it's kind of surfing the 20-day, right? So if you want to make money in the market, these are the stocks you want to focus on, not something that's been going sideways for a long time. This is what a momentum leader looks like. This is a momentum leader, okay? Not something. I'm just gonna take some random stocks some of you have mentioned and asked about. I don't know. Yeah, SC has a lot of things going for it. And you don't even have to know what the things are, what it has going for it. All you need to know is this is one of the strongest stocks in the markets and has been for about 6 months, 7 months. That's the thing. You don't even need to know anything about the stock. Because it's screaming in your face. I'm pumping it right now. Yeah, maybe I am. I'm pumping a 74 billion market cap company. Cryptos, because they're ultra liquid, all of them. I can't trade those things. Cryptos are just very liquid. Even like Bitcoin and Ethereum are pretty liquid. Very hard to trade. Oh, you're on the phone with Powell? He's buying some SC as we speak. Okay. Tell him to print more money. Tell him to give everyone like 10,000 bucks a month. Yeah, altcoins are super liquid, but even Ethereum and Bitcoin are fairly liquid. Considering, well, compared to the large and mega cap. Oh, SC is going right now. What the fuck? Guys, don't fucking front run me. Oh, here I am trying to help you make better traders and you guys are front running me. Assholes. I haven't added any. Maybe I won't even. I don't know. Is Tim Sykes a fraud? Well, I think he's a legit trader, but he does front run his followers. That's for sure. There's no doubt about it. He has an alert service where he front runs his thousands of crazy people. Maxon. Yeah, if he can go sideways a bit more. Is this like a... Is it an IPO? It's not an IPO, right? No, it's not. It's something else. If it can go sideways so the 10-day can catch up a little bit, then it could have a little bit of a flag here. Okay, Beely is going now. Nice. Hubs? Hubs is a slow mover. or kind of slow. Yeah, it's not really. It's a tough stock to trade. It's just some stocks are just very tough, like Hubs, Now, Zen. They're just very choppy, and they kind of slow to ADR 4.1. You probably shouldn't be trading this thing. Very very choppy stock. It's hard to trade these things off the daily charts. Yeah, Caesar, it's the 10th time someone mentions it past couple of days. Yes, it is. It looks like a great setup. Okay, it looks like a good setup. I like it. I like it. It's a good. Look how smooth it is. It's very smooth. This is a 5-star setup in the making here. I like it. It looks great. What is the lowest ADR? I trade, my lowest ADR stock is Twitter at 3.5. That's the slowest ADR stock in my portfolio. And the highest, I guess, is LAC at ADR of 15. And all the other stocks I have are in between. But I have a big account. I'm kind of forced to trade these slower large cap names, liquid names. I can't really trade the same. Guys, you have an enormous advantage, especially those of you who have less than a couple of million. Like, you have an enormous advantage. You have no excuses of not outperforming the market by a wide margin. Like, you can trade these liquid fast moving stocks. You have an enormous advantage. High tight flag, not tide flag. BEKE. There's no setup here. Needs to go sideways a bit more, tighten up. No, they're not. Risk reward. Well, microcaps are more volatile. You can risk 10% to make 100% in a few days. In a large cap, I can risk maybe 2% to make 20. So the risk reward is about the same. You just get bigger moves, and you also have to have wider stops. CMPS. Yeah, it's like an IPO breakout-ish. I would have preferred a bit more sideways, but yeah, if you got in on the opening range highs today, yeah. Sage. I don't know. Doesn't look like a momentum leader. It's a slower type of a name. It's just, it doesn't really have this powerful breakouts. Yeah, I don't know. Not really an ideal trading stock. Wow, is there anything not up except for my DraftKings? They announced an offering, but XBEV is trying to break out again. Interesting. And was it on Thursday or was it Friday? People were freaking out because the market's gapped down. Right? This is just tune out the noise, right? Like some people in the chat, they sounded like the world was ending on Friday, pre-market, when the markets were, and now look at it, everything is up, right? Just tune out the news. It's all a waste of time. It really is. Like, you know, just follow the price, follow your setups, you know, obey your stops. Nothing else matters. Really, nothing else matters. It doesn't matter what anyone on TV says. It really doesn't. Doesn't matter what anyone says. Yeah, silver looks strong. It does. Gold also. Gold looks pretty. Oh yes, yeah. Silver is trying to break out. I can't. I really can't buy anything more. I already bought some Beely today. I bought 35,000 shares, opening range highs. Just coming out of a nice base. Bounced off the rising 100-day, built higher lows, and now it's kind of breaking out of this range. I just can't buy anything more, but I do like silver. I even put it on my watch list, but yeah, yeah. No more trading for me. No more trading for me. LI, okay, this one is starting to. No, nugget. Well, trading is not easy. You just have to make it as simple as possible. Trading is probably one of the hardest things you'll ever do. Very few endeavors has a 99% failure rate. People just don't realize it. That's why you have to make trading as simple as possible. Just tune out all of the stupid indicators and all the news, all of these opinions. All you need to focus on is price action, really. And the price action in relation to news. Like, if something has good earnings, but it goes down, I mean, you know, what good is it? What good does it do you, right? It doesn't help you in any way. Oh yeah, BBBY, I was gonna talk about it. I just looked it up like 30 minutes ago. BBBY had an enormous earnings beat. This is why the stock is, well, obviously the market knew about it. That's why the stock went from 350 to 15 bucks, 15.50. The market already sniffed it out. Let's see the beat. Let's see, where is the earnings report? Oh, here it is. This is the reason. So the analysts expected 50 cents per share. No, sorry. The analysts actually expected a loss of 29 cents per share. Instead, they announced a profit of 50 per share. That's a big beat. A big beat. And this is why the stock is going higher. After already having made a big move. Those are the types of scenarios you want to look for, but ideally it would have been better if the stock wouldn't have this gap, this run up into earnings, right? It would have been better if instead of being in the 15s before earnings, it would have been better if it was in the 12s or 13s, right? So it already had a big run into earnings. It was up 100% in just a few months. That was the problem with this one. XPEV. This thing is, didn't XPEV have some news today? Oh yeah, okay. They reported Q3 deliveries. APHA, I don't know. It looks like he had some news, but not my type of setup. Futu? Why did you buy Futu? There's just, I mean, what do you see here? Just a random stock going down in a downtrend. PRTS is better because it's bouncing off the rising. It's a momentum stock bouncing off the 100-day twice. So that was a better one. But this one I really don't get. NVAX. Yeah, NVAX looks pretty decent. Yep. So XBEV they don't do they don't only do EVs, they do smart EVs. Wow. They do smart EVs, whatever that means. That's nice. But thanks for the news. Yeah. Up to 66%. Nice. I don't know what a smart EV is. Whatever it is, I want one. FLGT looks like a very good setup. Yeah, that looks like a good setup. Opening range highs was the entry. You know, the entry was somewhere here in the mid-high 41s. That was the entry. Gotta be on those setups. Gotta be on those. You know, if you're just finding a good, you know, setup like 15 minutes after it broke out, that doesn't really, you know, help you. You know, these, you know, something like this needs to be on your watch list before the market opens. Where is it? Like FLGT, you know, needs to be on watch list before the market opens. But yeah, it's a very good setup. It's breaking out. XBEV, let's see. XPeng. Let's see. What does a smart EV look like? Oh, you had it on your watch list? Nice. So this is smart EV. Okay. Looks pretty good. This one does not look pretty good. This one looks ugly. But this one looks good. Does it roll downhill? Yeah. I usually do about my aftermarket scan takes about 10-15 minutes. I really don't scan. I mean, since I only scan for the most liquid stocks, I really don't have that many stocks that get into my scans. Usually maybe 150, 200 stocks that I go through every. Oh, pen is kind of weak now. So it's pretty fast. My scanning is pretty fast nowadays. It used to take a lot longer. But my tradable universe is fairly small nowadays. After the market close. This Livongo could be a nice setup or an add-on setup if it stays tight today. This is another one. There could be a potential ad spot developing later this week. Big C is attempting a kind of a IPO breakout-ish type of a pattern. Shake Shack, Eat, yeah, that's why they are, yeah. They look very similar. WPRT, is it a setup? No, it's not. And you will be able to identify it yourself if you watch the YouTube video. If you type !YouTube, and you will see why it's not a setup. How's the boat? The boat is awesome. It's a beast. What can I say? It really is awesome. Have you caught any mermaids? No. Is it a smart boat? Yeah, it's a smart boat. I have a mobile app for it, so I guess it's a smart boat. I even have 2 mobile apps for it, so I guess it's double smart. X-Shore electric boats. Now that's something like X-Shore. That's something that's intriguing me, like electric boats, like quiet boats. That would be awesome, but unfortunately the electric market for boating isn't that developed yet. I mean, this thing... Oh, I've seen this one in real life. This thing has the most uncomfortable chairs you can think of. It's like... If you want to be tortured, you should buy this boat. I'm gonna show you. Is there a better picture of the seats? I mean... Wait. Well, you can get the picture here. Like, these seats are really not comfortable. Here. I mean... No, wait. What can't I see the whole... You can see it here. I mean, look at this. You know... These are not comfortable seats, I can tell you that. But at least the boat is quiet. But yeah, electrical engines for boats, especially with all the new battery technologies that are kind of coming up the next 5-7 years, I think. I think, you know, boating sector will get electrified too, but it will take longer time than the car sector or car industry. They only have one boat, LX. Yeah, why isn't there solar panels on this roof? I don't get it. Why aren't there any solar panels here? That's super weird. short NIO. I really don't see an edge shorting NIO here. PSNL. Yeah, it's setting up. It just needs to break out. CRSP, yeah. Bouncing off the 100-day. That it's doing. Yeah, Zoom is setting up. It is. Right now it needs a bit more time, but yeah, it's setting up. Well, yeah, CRSP I don't trust it either, but because it kind of lost its momentum. It's kind of broken, or not broken, but I don't know. It could go. The whole sector is strong, so that's why it's up. But it did an undercut of the rising 100-day, and now it's breaking out. That's actually a very good scenario. That's something you want to see. A failed breakdown at a key moving average, and then a breakout the day after. That shows strength. VVPR. VVPR is weak. No, it's not. It's just digesting a big move over the past 3 days. Dude, this thing went up like 55% in 3 sessions. It's not weak, it's just digesting this big move. Shui, yeah, I already went through it previously. Yeah, it's setting up. It's building higher lows. It's not the highest momentum stock, but it's kind of, surfing the 50-day, and it's not really a 5-star setup in develop. It's a slower type of a mover, but it could be nice. Sun W. Yeah, well, if you were able to identify it earlier, that would have been a really good setup. But yeah. I don't, it's not really like an institutional quality stock. It's more of a pump stock, but it could go, could go back to $4 very easily. Fastly. What's the question? Is Fastly category lower highs? What is lower highs or wedging? I have no idea what the question means. Is Fastly category lower highs or wedging? I truly don't know what you're asking there. I truly don't know. And now it's all a waiting game again. I don't think I'll trade anything else today, but yeah, markets look good. SPYs, well, Russell is the strongest, then we have the SPYs, and Nasdaq is lagging a little bit. Or actually, Nasdaq looks pretty decent. It's the Nasdaq 100 that's lagging. So yeah. And things look good. GRWG, yeah, it needs to tighten up here. It's just a choppy short in the middle of a range. It needs to tighten up. Is it too late to get into? I don't even know what to say. This thing is a triple in a few days. I really don't. Do you mean on the short side? Twilio. Yeah, I think it's decent though. The entry on this thing was opening range highs on Friday though. It had very, very nice volume and a big, upside guidance beat. And a good chart. It had been going sideways, but it's a big, one of the best momentum stocks. Had been going sideways for about 3 months or so, and then it had this episodic pivot with big volume. But the entry was opening range highs. Both the, definitely sub 280 was the entry. When it was obvious it was having a big, big volume. EXPI versus Shui, yeah, every day of the week. Why? Why would I think EXPI was a better buy than Shui? Why do you think? Yes, exactly. More momentum, and it's much more linear. It's surfing the 20-day, exactly. This thing has so much more momentum than Shui. Like Shui is, you can clearly see Shui is not as fast of a mover. Chewy has been, Chewy, if you look at it, this thing is up like 10% over the past 4 or 5 months, right? EXPI is up, or was up almost 400% in the past 4 or 5 months. So that's the reason, yeah. EXPI always, if you have two really good setups you like, you should trade the one with a higher momentum and the higher ADR. Absolutely. You should strive to trade the biggest momentum stocks. Silk, yeah, it's a slower type of a mover, but it's more of a grinder. This is not an explosive type of stock, but yeah, if it tightens up a bit, could be nice. How to measure momentum? Well, you can just clearly see. Look at the moves it made in the past. Like something like Silk, for example, in the past 3 months, it's up, 55%. While something like Chewy, in the past 3 months, this thing is up, what, 20%? So you can clearly see that Silk has more momentum than Chewy, right? Or something like Caesar, that's also up like almost 50% in the past 4 or 5 months, 3 or 4 months. That's how you measure momentum. Like in your scans, if you watch my YouTube video, you'll see my scans. And if you watch my Twitter also, my pinned tweet on Twitter, it's very easy to scan for momentum. It's just scan for the 1 or 2% biggest movers in any time frame, like last month, last 3 months, last 6 months. You'll get the biggest momentum stocks. And that's the stocks you want to trade. Those are the ones you want to own. CLSK, if it tightens up a bit, could be good. Yeah, Penn is also very extended. We'll see how it acts here on the 10-day, or if it tests at the 20-day. But I think we could have a nice setup later this week. It just needs a little bit more time. INSM, it's not really a momentum leader. I don't know. I think there are much better ones out there. ARCT. This is way too choppy. Oh, there's nothing here. Ignore this one. Well, I guess it's, you know, they have this COVID vaccine thingy that Singapore is using, but, you know, this is not really a momentum stock right now. It's very choppy. I don't see anything here. GoGo. Yeah, if it tightens up a bit, would be nice. CRDF, we needs more time. OTRK. Yeah, wow, this one had a beautiful breakout on Friday. Really nice. This is a picture perfect type of a stock. You have a big run. This thing quadruples in a few months, pulls back. You know, it's been surfing the 20-day very nicely. Pulls back, finds support on the 50-day, starts building higher lows, has a tight range, and breaks out. This is a picture perfect breakout. 5 star. 5 star. Set up in plug on Thursday or Friday? No, there was not. Absolutely not. It had a setup here. It bounced out the 50-day, had a big gap up, showed a lot of relative strength on this day. That was the entry day, and I was thinking about it, but you know, it was a little bit of a tough setup. I didn't like the big gap up, but you know, that's the thing. You know, sometimes the strongest stocks, they're just very strong. They don't give you a perfect entry. You kind of feel, they make you feel like you're chasing. Do I have a rule of number of entries in a day? Not really. I mean, just don't overdo it. Like let's say if I don't have a lot of exposure, let's say if the market has been in a pullback for a while, and then you know a lot of things start breaking out, you know, I wouldn't probably do more than 50 or maybe 60, 70, 80%. Changes to my portfolio in a day. You know, that would be the limit for me. Like I wouldn't go from say 20% invested to 120% invested in one day, but I could go maybe 20% invested to maybe 90% invested in one day. Just don't go crazy, you know. One day doesn't make a trend. There's plenty of time. Get in, usually. I'll be right back. ISRG is what? At the beginning? You mean here? Yeah, this was a good setup. Very, you know, it's a slow type of a stock, but yeah, it had a very good setup right here. Picture perfect. But the problem with these large mega caps is that they're, you know, sometimes. They're not the fastest names. Like it had a nice breakout, and look at the move it made, 10%. That's it, you know, because it's a low ADR stock, you know. If it had an ADR of 6%, it would have, you know, made a 20% move, right? So that's why you want to be in the faster stocks. FLGT. How do you judge the momentum is really there? Well, it's easy. You identify a good setup, and if it starts breaking the range, then you know the momentum is there. You already know the momentum is there since it's on your watch list, right? You shouldn't put stocks without any momentum on your watch list. And then you just wait for the range break and try to enter as fast as possible. If I'm fully invested, see a setup, a really good setup, would you sell size down on other positions? Yeah. Yep, absolutely. But the new setup has to be better than what I already am in. I would probably size down on something that hasn't performed, or that's kind of a slower mover. So that's the, you know, I would probably size down something like that, or sell it outright to get to have the buying power for a new, better setup. ACRE, yeah, it's setting up. Ideally, it would go sideways a bit more, tighten up, but yeah, it's a strong one. It's kind of a high tight flagging here. It just needs to get a bit tighter to get the high tight flag. FLGT, I'm talking about today's breakout from this flag here. It's a nice momentum stock, you know. It made a big move, pulled back, found support on the rising 50-day, built higher lows, had another leg higher, went sideways, and built a flag here. And as soon as the 10-day caught up, it broke out, right? Had 2 tight days here. And as soon as it broke this range, this 41-ish range today, that was the entry. Like if you had bought it on the 1 minute opening range highs, you could have gotten it sub 41. And then you had the 5 minute opening range highs here in the mid 41s. Yeah, the break of the range. Okay, I'll do one more scan and I'm gonna cut the stream. I don't really see much more value here for today. Like everyone should be in the best stocks by now. You know, there's been a lot of, like really a lot of 4 or 5 star breakouts over the past 2 weeks. This one is a really good setup, a slower type of a name. It tried to break out a couple of weeks ago, but it failed because the market was weak. And now it's retrying. Good setup, but a slow stock. You can just see how linear it is. First it surfed the 10-day, then it started surfing the 20-day, and now it's surfing the 50-day, right? You can just see how it's tightening up. CMPS, yeah, if you got it opening range highs. Yep. Spotify, It's yeah, okay, so yeah, so it had a big run, pulled back, found support on a 50-day, had another little bit of a run, pulled back, now it found support on a 100-day. Like it needs to tighten up here, I think. It is surfing down. It's not the fastest moving stock, but it could be a setup if it just tightens up here a little bit more. Yeah. Okay, guys, I'm gonna cut the stream now. Thanks for joining. I hope you got value. And remember, if you haven't done it yet, if you're new, or if you just haven't done it yet, just follow the instructions on the screen. You need to put exclamation mark about and or exclamation mark YouTube, right? You will, and then you need to digest everything that's in there. It's for everyone's sake, your sake, my sake, and for everyone in the chat, right? So everyone's on the same page, because it is kind of exhausting, you know, answering things people should already know if they had followed instructions on the screen. All right, see you tomorrow. Take care.